All right, welcome to the LubeTheCube.com's presentation of Lube review.
About time we did that.
It's about time we did that since we are LubeTheCube.com after all. So we're going to talk to you today about some of the different...
.com, not .net.
Yeah. So we're going to talk to you about a couple of lubrication options and how they affect cubes and our experience with them. And let's just go over the ones that we're going to talk about and get right into it.
VASELINE, JIG-A-LOO,
CRC heavy duty, and of course injectable silicone from Rubik's.com or Puzzle Pros.
Yeah. So Jamie, let's start with this. I only want to start with this because it's the worst. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. I just want to get it out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this the dash? Yeah, I think so. Anyways, you just literally pop open a QB and you smear it in like you see other people do on their videos. But boy, I think it's pretty much worthless. I would only use it. I mean, it does improve, I guess, slightly, but I would only use it if you had nothing else in the world to use. I would say the dashing that we used for it actually is worse.
Yeah, it certainly will. Also, it's bad for your cubes over time. The petroleum in it is not good. And, you know, again, if you have nothing else, then I guess I could foresee doing it. But if you're going to spend the time and effort to get yourself a DIY, don't use Vaseline to lubricate it.
I recommend a loogie over this.
For sure.
Let's get to something that we do like.
Yeah, let's talk about this first.
Okay,
I think this is Rubik's.com or Puzzle Pros injectable silicone. Also, if you buy a cube that's lubed and assembled, we are 99.9% sure that this is the type of lubricant that they use at Cube for You and maybe even other sites as well. So. The good thing about it is this will instantly make your cube more turnable, and it's not going to have any after effects.
This one has that in it. And I think the reason they use those cube for you and such when you buy them pre-lubed is because unlike CRC or JIG-A-LOO, when you spray it in, you can work it in just like this, and it doesn't get locked up on you. Feel like cement, and like CRC or JIG-A-LOO might. It's instantly different, and you just work it in, and it never locks. It doesn't get real hard to turn at the beginning. Yeah,
and another thing is some specific cube types really, are going to respond the best to this. F is a great example of a cube that you would want to use this with.
Different plastics.
Now, in my opinion, I would go ahead and jig-aloo my cube with my F later, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
This also a cube for you is lubricated with that.
And also, we're talking about how they complement each other. But one thing you will definitely notice is you'll want to get all of these, and the reason I say that is because different plastics respond differently. This seems to work the best with F, and then you can add some on others later. If you're doing a store-bought Rubik's, I would go with CRC first, definitely.
Right, and just one more quick note about this before we move on and talk more about the CRC. This wears off.
Quicker than
anything else. I mean, not that it's a bad thing and not that you should avoid this, because certainly it has its benefits, particularly on certain cube types, but it will wear off on you.
Also, let's talk about how you would apply that. Let me show you. Jamie is always more thorough than I am. I just literally, I just always just squirt the heck out of stuff in the middle until it drips out the bottom. Jamie, I think you do it.
Yeah, the way I would do this, and I don't know, maybe this is just a little bit much ado about nothing, but I would go ahead and inject this into the hollow portion of the QB, and then, I don't know if I can show you this very well, but I'll do the best I can here. I'm not going to worry about getting this on correctly. I would just go ahead and turn the bottom 45 degrees, and it's a little tricky.
Just do it sideways or something. Yeah, there you go, just like that.
And then I would insert that in and pop it in, and then I would just do finger tricks until the lubrication gets spread evenly around all of the cube. And it works. But you can do it Rock's way too. You may have to use more.
I think that's what Bad Mephisto does. I don't know, but I'm probably totally wrong. I think he uses this. But anyways, let's go on to talk about CRC. Dude, this stuff is, it can really eat through some plastic in a good way. Like dashing, is really good with it, or store-bought Rubik spraying is really good. Don't be, freaking out when you spray it in there and it feels like it's just the opposite effect and it feels like you put cement in there. Another tip, Don't spray it inside your house because your wife will freak out on you because it stinks.
And it'll probably kill you, dude. Be careful.
So when you first put it in there, Jamie, tell them about how it locks up and what you got to do. When you
you can apply this with the same method that Rock uses. Just take about one edge piece, spray it in, and then work it in for about 2 minutes. It's going to be hard to turn at first, but you want to make sure that it's normal, and you want to make sure you get an even coating across all the cubies, so you don't have a a cube that has one side that turns really well and one side that doesn't turn as good.
That's why I just spray the heck out of it till it drips out the bottom, which I know you shouldn't really do that, and then I just work it in. But you really have to. You want to work it in until it turns really smooth. Don't let it just sit there, or then you'll be taking a hammer out trying to get it.
Well, and you can break it, but I mean, break the cement feel of it, unless you just spray it and don't work it in at all and let it sit there. Then you're gonna have a problem. Also, the way I would do this, and I know again this is me being anal, I guess, but I would take out one edge piece on the bottom layer. Spray it in, put it back, take the reverse edge piece out from the top, spray it in there, put it back, take one of the side edge pieces out, spray it in there, and put it back, and then take the reverse edge out and spray it in there and work it out. So I got 4 complete edges removed, and then I would just work it in as best I could for at least 2 minutes, and then come back to it. And once you put it down and come back to it, you're going to notice a pretty big difference.
Another thing, this is like a white milky thing. This is like looks like you're spraying hairspray. And then this final thing, JIG-A-LOO, is almost like a spray petroleum or jelly thing. Let me see if I can show you what I mean. Do you want to talk about the...
and one quick thing, he said petroleum, but he's just talking about its consistency. It doesn't have any of that in it.
Vaseline.
And it's really pretty amazing stuff. I would say that it has some of the. It will make your cubes as fast as anything out there.
Definitely.
If you're having, I don't know that this is a good option just when you break in it. When you've built a cube, it's not been lubricated with anything else, and you go straight to this. I mean, yes, it will. It'll certainly lubricate the cube and make it good, but I would almost think that you'd have better results in either buying it pre-lubed and assembled with something like this, or using this and then coming in with this later. Will have even better effects.
Jamie,
not that this alone is bad, but it'll
Jamie likes to use cube glue first after it's broken in. Use this. I prefer CRC first after it's broken in, then JIG-A-LOO. Be careful with JIG-A-LOO because I just overdid it like I always do everything, and it's like it got on the outside of my cube.
That's the type 3, and it's really bits. And then maybe the plastic type, how that reacts to JIG-A-LOO different than others, but it still made a big mess.
And that's my fault just because I sprayed too much in. Like I just figured it'd drip out the bottom like a CRC.
My best advice with this stuff, until you get a feel for it, is to take your jankiest, most terrible turning cubes and use this on it and see what kind of the results you get out of it. And then, because you might remember this orange from our Type D review, and I was, telling you how terrible it was. Well, I JIG-A-LOO'd this cube, and now it's pretty money. I mean, it's certainly not one of the best Ds that we have, but, it's gone from a cube that I would never use to now something that's kind of fun to play with.
Let's recap. Vaseline, weak sauce. This is great.
Good for Type Fs especially, and it may wear off, but it's a good starting lubricant for when you're just building your cube.
We're going to put on our website at lubethecube.com, not .net, which they're great people too, but just different website. What cubes are affected or go best with what type of lubricant?
Yeah, and or what combination of lubricants. So we'll include that in our cube scorecard.
Overall, all 3 of these are great. I recommend going with this first until you broke it in, and then JIG-A-LOO. Jamie thinks this first, then JIG-A-LOO, but either way is good.
Yeah, just real quick, if we could just say, if you can't find this, it's not at your Walmart. Home Depot is where I got mine, or you can order it online if you're in another country and you can't find it anywhere. This, Walmart, automotive stores, this is very common. You should be able to find this. We think Puzzle Pros sells this, and I'm pretty sure, I know that Rubiks.com sells it.
From,
You just have to buy extra stickers to get it. And you can get this anywhere, but don't.
You can get it anywhere, but it belongs in the trash.
That's right.